Hi all, Rex King here. I'm the owner of this channel, Contemplating with the Master. The intent behind the name Contemplating with the Master was the idea behind everyone is his own master. Everyone needs to be the best person they can be. And so in order to become the best person, you have to go to the best person. You know, like the Bible says, iron sharpens iron. One knife scraping another sharpens a knife. Two wise people together can make each other wiser. So the intent behind Contemplating with a Master is hopefully we can provide from this site information so that you as a master can reflect off of this information and grow, or you as a what they call that, initiate, a neophyte, to grow and to one day become a master. With regard to the lighting of these videos, it's basically based on creating a board, an image behind me that doesn't have any light reflections on it, so there's no glare. And so the lighting may not be perfect, but given my current situation and configuration, this is the best, and you won't have to deal with any glare. Enough on that. I've done a bunch of videos that are basically audios with regard to different subjects. You might listen to some of them and see if you see some interest in them. But everything here is based basically on the premise is that we all need to be the best we can be as an individual. And that's what this video is that I'm about to present. This image behind me, I basically put a little image together that talks about what it takes to get on in life. You know, it's really a very basic process, but at the same time, we can be quite confused and seem to be shooting ourselves in the foot and not realize it. And so I'm just going to go through this real quick. I don't mean to beat it to death because it's real straightforward, and just a real straightforward explanation be something y'all can go back and look at again in the future. You don't have to listen to some big video, and really just it's a quick explanation is plenty. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Well, basically, I'm calling this life the basic rules, okay? So yeah, we want to be a master of what? We want to be a master of our life, okay? So contemplating with a master, we're going to look at some thoughts about what it takes to be successful in our lives. And I'm talking about every aspect. This is life, you know, you pick the subject and we'll look at it. It's included. Okay, the first rule is be a good person. Okay, that's the first rule. I mean, if we can't agree on that, we in trouble. You should stop right now and go away, because that's, you know. In fact, I'm giving you a tip right here. A good tip: commit to being the best. You know, to being your best. So if you're not that now, and you're not committed to being the best person you can be now, what I recommend is you commit and you just start from where you are. Just start. You know, no matter what kind of a person or what kind of a problem or issue or ignorance or whatever it is, you just start from where you are. And be a good person, okay? Do your best to make the best decisions for yourself and for those around you, but yourself first, because if you don't take care of yourself first, then you're really not much help to others, because you become a burden. So we all want to make sure we're doing our best to be our best for ourselves, okay? Be a good person. That's the starting point, okay? Now you notice I have an asterisk here, okay? What does that asterisk mean? Let's come see. It says, begin to be what you want to become. So if you commit, I'm going to be the best person I can be, then you're going to begin. So you've committed to it. So begin to be that, okay? And then there's 3 stages. Fake it until you make it. So whatever you are, be the best at that, and then you'll get better, okay? And then make it and make until you know. And then what will happen is you'll get more confidence in yourself, because you'll see the results of your good behavior and your good acts. And then the third thing is know until you master. It'll come into where it's natural and you don't even have to think about it. It's just who you are. A good person, everybody knows it, okay? That's the first rule, okay? The second rule is teach yourself to be a better person. Occupation. So this first one, we were kind of thinking maybe on a personal level, because if you're not a good person as an individual inside, you're not trying to be the best you can be, you know, just as a, you know, to feel good about yourself, then it's hard to do the next thing. But once you're starting that process, I'm doing my best to be the best, no matter what stage you're at, then start the next one. Teach yourself to be a better person, occupation. Learn to do something well. Learn to cook, to clean, to take care of your body physically, to manage your money, to learn to make money, to earn money. What is an occupation you'd like to do? Now, if you're young, your initial occupation may be cutting grass, or minding babies or something like that. But as you get older, your occupation will change. I've been through many, many occupations in my life. I've gone from being, cutting grass as a kid, taking care of my home lawn, to lawns in the neighborhood, to having a job in a grocery store, to working up to the assistant manager of the store, and then where did it go from there? From there, I started working in machine shops. I started doing. I wound up becoming a beekeeper. I wound up getting involved with doing carpentry work, painting, building structures, all kinds of things like that. Eventually went to college and then became a civil engineer, and then from that, it went from there. And here I am today. I'm doing this. So the point I'm getting at is just because you make a decision today to commit to learning an occupation, that doesn't mean that's forever. But what it is doing is it's teaching you to teach yourself to be a better person by learning an occupation. And we've all been through this process before. I mean, that's why a person says, oh man, he's not saying nothing new, okay? But the point is commitment to the process, because it's a very small process. So what do you need to learn now? What are you unhappy about? Is there a desire that you have that you want to fulfill? Personal growth, desire is what we're talking about. What do you desire to be? Do you want to be a carpenter? Do you want to be a plumber? Do you want to be a nurse? Do you want to, what is it? Pick it and then say, I'm going to become that, okay? Let me come over here first. Decide what you want and become it, okay? Become it. In other words, I am an engineer. I don't have an engineer that I take off and put in, when a person goes to college for several years, they become the person that knows that information. A doctor isn't a doctor just during the day when he's at work, puts his doctor coat on. No, he's a doctor all the time. No matter where he's at, that's who he is. And I'm an engineer. And we all become what we put our mind to becoming, being a better at that. Okay. In other words, at any occupation you can think of, fake it until you make it. Start learning about it. Take some interest in it. Hanging out with those that know that or whatever, and then go to school. Start to school first. The first day of school, you faking it. You don't know nothing. Okay. But eventually, when you graduate, you're a master. I mean, this is the school process. How many grades? It might be 3 grades. I don't know. But the point is if you commit and do your best to learn, if you went to school to learn an occupation, when you come out, you're going to be a master at, or at least an apprentice master, where you can go out and get some hands-on training. But you're well on your way. And if for some reason that occupation you decide at some point that's not what I wanted, you've gone through this process with one thing. And what I have learned is that everything's interconnected. You learn how to do one thing well, and the next thing's easier to learn to do well. And so anyway, again, commit to being a good person so we can feel good about ourselves, feel comfortable going into the world and making our name known, knowing that the higher spirit of the world is making sure these rules work perfect for us, because this is it. We don't have to look. By the way, some of the videos I have on this website is about the devil. How should we feel about the devil and things like that in reality. And the point is these are the basic rules of life. And there's nobody out there blocking you from getting this. Okay, nobody but you. There's no devil saying, let me decide whether this person's proved worthy enough to learn to be a better person. No, you're a better person if you decide to be a better person. And there's no devil out there or anything else that's stopping you but you. But you listen to those videos and you decide what you think the devil is. But I have come to the conclusion, and in those videos it will become clear, that the devil is ignorance. And that's what this is. Basic rules of life, overcoming ignorance. Be a good person. Don't be ignorant and be a fool and treat people badly and whatever, make your life miserable unnecessarily. Learn to be a good person, be fair, be honest, be trustworthy, be reliable. And then teach yourself to be a better person. In other words, don't be being a good person, you can be sweeping the floor, you can be the janitor, you could be anybody and be a good person, because every occupation is good. No matter what you want to do or what you want to be, it's good. Just be good at it and be the best person at it. But if you want a different occupation and you're not content, you want to grow or whatever, then commit to the process. Personal growth, desire, what do you want, and then commit to it. Yeah. Self-control. Control your free will. You've got free will, but you got to control the free will. It's not free will to do whatever the hell you want all the time. You got a free will to say, hey, look, I want to learn to be this, and I'm going to learn to be that. But I gotta. When you see, we all like to admire these musicians that play these instruments and have done so well. But these people actually had to sit down and learn to play these instruments. Now, even the ones that it came natural had to learn, and write the songs or whatever, or learn to play the songs and perfect their art, which took a lot of time and effort, So don't think that you can't do that too, but you have to actually do it. You actually have to say, yeah, I want to be the best carpenter I can be. I'm going to get some carpenter books and I'm going to start reading them. And I'm going to start hanging out with some carpenters, maybe get a job being a carpenter, carpenter's assistant or helper or something, work your way up the ladder. And again, it's a process, stages. Okay, so once we're doing this, we pick something and we're making headway. Number 3, practice what you have become. In other words, commit to being what you have decided to become. Yeah, I'm going to be a carpenter. Okay, what are the path to being a carpenter? What's the path? Sit down with a piece of paper and say, what's keeping me from being, ignorance. I don't know anything about carpentry. Well, I need to get a carpentry book and start reading it. Maybe I'll get me a basic carpentry book and read it from cover to cover, and then see if I still feel good about wanting to be a carpenter after I do that. Do that and then see where you stand. So what, I really like this or whatever, I got a lot out of it. Maybe you feel like, well, look, maybe I can build me a little something in the backyard, do a little home project to see if you can, and then go from there. The point is that, and eventually you get to the point where you say, I could be a helper. I could go and I know I could get a job and go work on a job, building a house or something as a helper, framing or whatever. And then there's all sorts of skills. Learn to do the sheetrock, the electrical. Pick one skill and learn it well. I'm going to be an electrician. Get an electrical book and read it. Study it. That's what this is. And then commit to it. Yeah, make sure that every choice you make is in that direction. I've picked a path and followed the path. I've made a garden. I've planted some. I'm going to be a carpenter, and let's keep planting more of that, and let's fertilize it. Let's make it become what we want it to become. Commit to being what you have decided to become. Period. It's that simple. Number 4, repeat the process. This is it. This is everything in life, the same thing. You want to be a cook? Bam. You want to be a good husband? Bam. You want to be a good wife? Bam. You want to be a good student in school? This is it. Pick a subject. I'm gonna focus on that subject. I'm weak in math. I'm gonna focus on my math. I'm gonna bring it up. And then as soon as you get up, you say, which one I'm weak in? I'm gonna focus on that. Focus. Because you've got free will, but you gotta actually control your free will. You gotta, it's your free will to decide what to do with it. And the fact of the matter is if you're not taught to this simple process, to realize, hey, look, this is it, but I gotta commit to it. I actually say, yeah, I'm not gonna stay out late. I'm not going to, do things that put me in a position where I'm not able to perform and do this. But regardless, fake it until you make it. So no matter how uncomfortable you are from the beginning with any of these processes of becoming anything, work toward it. When I was a kid, I remember that they used to say anybody can become the president of the United States. And I used to wonder about that, but I don't anymore. It's possible for the most ignorant idiot in the whole world to become the president of the United States, okay? But the question is, if you happen to become the president of the United States, do you want to be a blithering idiot, or do you want to have gone through this process in life to where when you get that honorable role, you're able to be the best person you can be because you've committed to it today. It's just that simple. Well, look, we're at almost 15 minutes. I think I'm going to shut this down. I think I've covered everything on this And so please take this in the spirit that it was given as, hey, look, man, life isn't that difficult. Let's just get a handle on our self-control, control our habits. And this can be on any basic thing too. In other words, any basic habit that you want to change, okay, then stop feeding the habit and focus. If you want to fake it and say, I'm a smoker and I don't want to be a smoker anymore. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fake it till I make it. I'm not a smoker and I'm going to act like I'm not a smoker. Okay, and I'm going to keep acting like I'm not a smoker because I'm not going to think about it. And every time it comes to my mind, I'm going to distract my attention from it into something else. And eventually, I'm going to be making it until I know I'm not a smoker. And then I'll be able to be around, it's no big. And then until you master it. You'll know it until you master it. To which this, some people smoke, they ignorant, they don't know about it. It's hurting their lungs, and the benefits aren't really worth the side effects. So anyway, but fortunately I was able to grow and overcome that. I went through the basic rules of life process and figured it out. And took the time to put a little effort into changing my habit from that to a better one. And bam, you got it. So anyway, I know everybody's life is different and so forth and so on, but I think that if you think about it, just committing to what do I have to do with my decisions, my willpower to make this happen for me. And if it makes you bigger, better, and more wonderful, look, man, try it. Look, thanks a bunch. Hope to see you in another video.